Hello, everybody. Welcome to an episode of This Is My Bourbon podcast. Another episode, I guess. An episode? Yes, this is an episode, but it's also another episode. It's episode 240 of This Is My Bourbon podcast. We've gone a long way. 10 weeks, and we got 250. 250. We've been doing this for a long time. I'm your host, Perry. With me this week, as he always is, it's our co-host, Eric Smith, the Whiskey Mutant. Hi, Eric.
I'd kick somebody in the balls for you. You know that, right?
I do know that. I know that so much that I know that you would get restricted on Facebook. You'd go to Facebook jail for a few days for me.
Yeah. So if you're listening and you care about somebody so much that you would kick somebody else in the balls for them, don't say it on Facebook or you'll get in Facebook jail.
They consider it an act of aggression.
Yeah.
For some reason.
I don't know consider it an act of love.
It feels like love.
Yeah.
I mean, love definitely feels like getting kicked in the balls.
But
what a fun stupid analogy we've made up.
It's the love of somebody doing such an act of terror for them. That's the love.
Maybe we should stop saying act of terror when we're talking about loving.
An act of passion.
Else. Okay.
Just don't say that on Facebook because apparently you'll get banned.
You'll get banned. You'll get in trouble. You'll have posts removed. You'll have
people talking about you on Facebook and you can't reply to them.
Yeah. So that's unfortunate.
Yes.
If you are here for the first time, thank you so much for checking out the show. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back.
I hope you've
been well. Thank you for sticking around. If you've not subscribed yet, whether it's on YouTube where you may be watching this video of the podcast, or maybe you're listening to it in your audio feed of your favorite podcast app, please do subscribe. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. We haven't gotten one in a few weeks, but we do read every review out here on the podcast. Good, bad, ugly, beautiful, kick us in the balls, whatever it is that
passionate, aggressive, whatever.
If you want to leave us a comment that you want us to read out on the show too, leave it on the video version and we'll read it out here.
Do it.
Even if it's a bot. Even if it's a Russian bot.
It's a bot. See them right now? Click here. Beep, 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 beep.
What else?
Live.
Yeah. Find all of our apparel and merchandise at bourbonshop.threadless.com or whiskeymutant.shopify.com. You can also send us questions or comments to thismybourbonshop@gmail.com. Follow us on social media at MyBourbonPod and at Whiskey Mutant, and you can also support the show, the big, super duper extra special one.
Yeah.
Support the show on Patreon. It's patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast for as little as $1 a month. For as little as $5 a month, you get bonus content, and we are quickly approaching the most important month of the year.
Big ass August.
Mine and Eric's birthday month, where we're going to be doing a little Patreon pledge drive, chock full of surprises and some bonus content and lots of stuff. Lots of good stuff. Over the next couple of weeks, I'll talk about, not really a couple of weeks. It's like a week and a half. So during that time, I'll be letting people know some of the benefits that they can get by hopping on the Patreon. Going to be changing around some tiers. Have some new goodies, some good stuff.
Not my goodies.
I'm even thinking about including a Patreon tier where each month somebody gets an exclusive pairing from the Whiskey Mutant.
I can do that.
Yeah?
I can do some exclusive shit.
Okay. I figured you could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all about being exclusive.
All right. I know. We're both married. Not to each other. Not to each other. We're not married to each other. We're married to...
What?
Oh.
Huh?
I need to make some calls.
You weren't supposed to talk about this on the show.
Yes, that's why we're clearly in two different locations.
It's all fake.
On
He's
a
really right
on a
over
Sunday
there.
night.
It's just we made two sets.
Oh, wait, I'd be looking that way, wouldn't I? Sorry, my camera's mirrored.
We made two completely different sets.
In our house.
But we're in the same room, actually.
Yeah. Do you want to do housekeeping before we get, before the sips and snacks or after? We'll do it after.
Yeah, we'll do it after.
Because it's really hot out here.
Oh, and we got a special sips and snacks.
We got a special sips and snacks, and mine is getting soupy. Okay, I have it in a bowl because, well, the problem is it's not AC. There's no AC out here. There's no air control, air conditioning. So my ice cream.
If you're listening right now, can you guess what we're eating based on all the stuff Perry just said? You got 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3,
2, 1. Okay.
2, 1. It's ice cream. And not only
it's Little Debbie ice cream. We got the the Nutty Bar.
Oh, the Nutty Bar's ice cream.
I'm so excited about this
one.
This has been one of my favorites out of all of them that we've had so far. There's one that I cannot wait for us to try together. I might have to bring it over to you tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. Just because it's spectacular. It's really good stuff. Okay. But yes, this is the Nutty Bar, Little Debbie ice cream.
Yes, it is.
And Eric and I were talking about this earlier, and I said, well, why don't we pair this with a Nutty Bourbon?
Oh.
Have you not even tried this yet?
This is the first time. I just opened it. I literally just opened it.
It's so good, right?
Oh, this one is great. Oh. Got a little crunch of the chocolate and stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
And the ice cream is like the peanut butter part.
Yep.
Oh.
Peanut butter, like a Reese's ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Not exactly that, but like peanut butter ice cream with chocolate.
Yeah. It's not like
one of my favorites. Oh. And the only thing that I would, hands down though, chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream is my favorite. And the only thing that makes it better is when it's like chocolate chip peanut butter cookie dough ice cream.
Oh yeah, baby.
Know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
that's where it's at for me. Eric's just gonna eat ice cream the rest of the episode. But
sorry, we gotta pair this, and I'm letting Perry do the pairing today.
Well, I figured we'd go with the Nutty Bourbon, and I figured why not just go all out? I mean, we could have gone with a Knob Creek single barrel, but I feel like that's
too easy.
It's too easy. It's too easy.
Everybody would expect that.
So I thought, why not find something else in that category and go with the Old Grandad 114?
Oh, yeah, baby.
So how do you want to do this? Do you want to do some kind of like pour over situation?
Okay, I think we try it 2 ways. I think we do a little bite of ice cream and then take a sip, see what that does. And then I think we just straight up, you got a bowl, I got a little section on the corner, I'll just pour a little bit in there and we'll just mix it up. Oh, wow.
Interesting. I don't know if I'm completely on board with that.
It's a little spicy for it.
A little bit. I'm afraid the bourbon's going to, like, curdle the ice cream somehow.
There you go. Do it like...
It is better if you've, like, poured it over the ice cream.
Oh.
Poured it into it. So much
That's
better.
like a boozy milkshake.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you do it. Ooh, that's really good.
It's really, really good.
Yeah, definitely do a... you could even, like I just did, I took some and put it in the spoon. Then I poured the bourbon in the spoon with it.
That's what I did.
Oh, I wasn't watching. Sorry, I was too...
That's all right.
I was too into this right now.
So let me ask you this.
Oh, yeah, because like that rye spice in there gets in with the peanuts. And it's almost turns it cinnamon-like.
Let me ask you this, because you are our resident.
I'm something.
You're our resident snack cake czar.
Mm-hmm.
What does the existence of snack cake ice cream mean to you as far as like snacking goes? Like, does it make it more difficult for you? Are you finding that, I mean,
honestly,
difficult, but like what has it like done for you as far as like the snacking game goes?
It's not really changed anything other than it's just been something fun to try to find, because it's not really just everywhere.
So it's more of like a novelty than anything.
Like this, I didn't even find this. Lucy found this for us, and she was nice enough to buy me some too when she bought you some. Yep. Because it's not like this is like life changing. I mean, this is good, but this isn't when I take a bite of this ice cream, it tastes so good, but it's not like I'm biting into a Nutty Bar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of it's just got its own thing. So this to me is just like a special, like, you know, like a bourbon or a whiskey that, you know, it was something specially finished. You're going to get it to try it. You're going to enjoy it, but it's not going to change you. You're not going to go out and try to find every, you know, peanut butter finished whiskey now or something like that. Like,
you know, it probably, we probably would have had an even better experience had we tried like Screwball with it.
Oh, that would probably really look good.
Yeah.
But
pretty good.
But I feel like Screwball is like, it would be like Screwball mixed in this and then bourbon added to it. Like, I feel like Screwball is just another thing to add to it. Yeah. This is really good ice cream.
It's just really straight up good ice cream. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't change it. It's not like, ooh, I love Nutty Bar ice cream more than the actual bar, because no,
I agree with you. But here, and you haven't tried all of the ice creams, right?
Mm-mm.
I don't think that the quality of all of the, this is insane that we're talking about this on a bourbon podcast, but the quality of all of the ice creams, they don't all line up with how good some of the snack cakes are.
Gotcha.
Like there are some distinct differences between their original counterparts and these versions. Is this the only one that you hadn't tried, or have you tried the other ones now too?
I haven't tried any. I was saving them for pairings and stuff.
So now that one's open, does that mean the floodgate has just been...
I don't know. We could do like 4 weeks straight of sips and snacks and just eat ice cream every day.
You want to do that?
We could. We could do another one next show.
I've got 2 more for you too.
I'm down.
How about this? We could do, starting for Big Ass August.
Oh yeah, Big Ass August.
We could do the ice creams for sips and snacks every week.
Okay.
And then back to September. Once we get to simply another month, September.
Blind sample September.
Ooh, I like that. So,
that was a good
there's a plan. Who says we don't know how to make plans? Has anybody ever said that about us?
Probably. You're probably like, what did they even plan this?
What are they doing? What are they talking about? He's going to kick somebody in the balls over something?
It's so good he's going to kick somebody else in the balls? I don't get it. I recommend this ice cream. I like this.
I do too. I could not resist that ice cream, that sample. There he is. There's my guy doing a bottle chug of old Granddad 114.
Dude, that's a good pairing. Like, I know at first you were like, I don't know about it.
Well, I think it was because I was mostly eating ice cream soup.
Yeah. That's good. I think like you said, any nutty thing will go with this, because it's mainly a peanut butter forward ice cream.
Yeah.
Unless you want to switch it up and try something different, but I think it.
I'm out of ice cream right now, and
God, I've almost got half of this whole thing going.
I mean, I probably could have eaten most of it. I'm not a big sweets guy. Like, just categorically, I'm not. It's not my go-to.
Ice cream guy.
I love ice cream. Is one of those few things that I will make an exception for. But even still, I'm not like. I don't know. It's not a 100% of the time.
It's like a going out treat for me. Like, I usually don't eat ice cream.
Yeah.
It's like if I'm out or on vacation or something.
Vacations
let's get a big ice cream. You know?
Vacations for sure are when I will eat ice cream the most. But speaking of vacations, I just got back from a trip.
You did.
And I'm tired. We're recording this late. The night after I got home, at this time last night, I was just crossing over into Kentucky.
Oh, God, that drive.
Yeah. I'm fine.
Choked him up.
Got me in my feels. But let's talk about a little bit of housekeeping before we go any further. I guess we've already kind of talked about the big Patreon month, which is coming up real soon. The other thing, and I hesitate to put all of our eggs in this basket, but at least for the month of... I had no idea what drink that was. Just a caffeine-free Diet Coke.
It is. That's
yes, sir.
The fastest thing I could grab.
Yeah. But for at least the month of August... we are going to see the return of none other than Swan.
If you're on the Facebook group, you have already seen his return. He's like somebody out of jail that just learned what the internet was.
Swan is...
and he's a coward. Anyway, sorry.
The ice cream is messing with me.
Getting that scratchiness in your throat.
Yeah.
I know it. I know that feel.
So Swan is moving back to Kentucky. I will let it be his story to tell or not tell. But he is returning. So at least for about a month consistently. Bless you. Swan is going to be on the show again. He will still be around more frequently than he has before. But I'm pretty excited. We haven't had three, I guess 2 co-hosts and then the main host on
three co-hosts.
But we haven't had 3 people in front of mics in a long time. I mean, it's been since the better part of COVID started, when Curtis and Swan were on the show. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be chaos.
And my goal. See, I hesitate to give this away, but I want to do it in some capacity. Like I said at the top of the episode, we are 10 episodes away from our 250th. And I mean that means that we got stuff we got to do. We got to do some big
We're
announcements.
Halfway to 500.
Golly, I hadn't even thought about that. We get to 500 episodes and it's just like my dad and Whiskey Morgue downloading the episodes.
The only ones.
That's it. That's all that's listening. But I want to do some other special stuff for it. Episode 100, we had all 4 of the co-hosts on that had been a part of the show before, or all 4 of the people who had been on the show. And so I kind of think by 250, I'd like to have the 5 of us all sitting down together for something.
They look at me and they listen. They're like, "This is what this show's become."
What has happened? What has become of them?
What? Shut up! I used to listen to you guys.
I'm also, like I said, just super tired. So I'm just gonna keep pouring some Granddad 114 before we get to this review. But
Granddaddy.
Yeah, we got a bunch of news this week. We got some shifts happening again within the industry.
Some divisional shifts.
Feels like it. We got some new releases. We got some new destinations within the bourbon industry, and some pretty fantastic new labels across the TTV. But first and foremost, let's start out with another big change, unfortunately coming to Green River Distillery. Their master distiller, Jacob Call, is going to be leaving.
Right after we broke that exclusive.
Yeah, you know what's weird is that the main thing that we were told with the merger between Green River and Bardstown Bourbon Company is that it was more of a partnership than it was anything. So what are we seeing now with their master distiller leaving that might indicate that they weren't as maybe not people centric as they were kind of identifying that they were, but what is it about this new step forward that he is not feeling comfortable with?
Was it a, hey, we want you to change this or that, or, that's what it made me feel like. It's like,
well, and the word that they used is bittersweet. Like,
I never know even. I feel like that word is just used, and you're just like, what does that even mean? It's just a bittersweet symphony that's live. Bittersweet. That does not mean it was sweet or bitter. There's something else when you say bittersweet.
It does say that Call is going to remain in the bourbon industry, though, but he is not at liberty to announce what's happening next for him because he is under a non-compete until October 31st. So, I don't know. It feels like a bummer to me, right?
Yeah, because I feel like this has been like a roller coaster for us because we got Green River, and we love that bottle, and then we heard that this was happening. We were kind of like, how's this going to affect everything? Then we got that little, that little touch that was like, well, nothing's going to change. It's, it's just a partnership.
And literally one of the biggest changes that could happen with a distillery.
And then
happened
we turned
almost
around
immediately.
Almost so it's been like
immediately.
A roller coaster with this. And I'm just waiting for the single barrels to come out.
Just ridiculous, man.
Yeah, so I don't know.
But I think it's best to just say that we wish everything well for Jacob, and I'm curious what the next step is for Green River now, and who they might be. Maybe our anonymous source might be able to give us some information. We'll find out.
He's like, I'm the distiller now. It's all come to my plan has all come to it.
It's Dixon. Dixon becomes the master distiller there.
Dixon. Guess what?
Peekaboo. That was more Matthew McConaughey. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Hey.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Dixon.
Hey, it's Dixon.
It's Dixon Deadman.
Rising like out of the ashes of the phoenix.
So Buffalo Trace has got a new... a new dining destination, they're calling it, for 2023. It says in terms of... no, wait, hold on.
Is this where they're taking over the gas station below the distillery?
Yeah. Could you imagine if they just took that gas station and they just gutted it and they turned it into like a little like 50s or 60s diner?
It'd be like Pigeon Forge.
Oh, it totally would be.
Yeah.
Would you be upset about that if that were the thing that happened?
No.
I don't think I would be either, but at the same time, I'd be like, why is this what Buffalo Trace put millions of dollars into?
Fuck gas. Can't afford it anyway, so might as well make me a restaurant out of it.
Dude, traveling back home, we saw gas for $3.60.
Damn.
Yeah, it was a nice little surprise.
That's nice. Can't even get that with my Kroger points right now.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I mean, like, I'm excited for this. I'm curious to see what it's like. I'm hoping that we get some kind of, like, preview to it and everything. But the gas station is going to stop operating in August, in big ass August.
Birthday, death days.
They anticipate that the groundbreaking for the new tourism and dining destination will take place in fall of this year with a grand opening target of summer 2023. So, be on the lookout for that.
Be on the lookout for that when you're waiting on blends.
Suppose. Copper and Kings. Wait, Copper and Kings? Yeah, Copper and Kings. I thought maybe it was Copper and King. Anyway, they have their very first bourbon coming out. But there's a twist.
Uh-oh.
There's only one way to get it.
Uh-oh.
You ready for this?
Oh, Lord. In a bundle. You have to buy the gin or whatever.
No. Oh. You have to go to the distillery, go on a particular tour called the Barrel to Bottle Experience, and then you can fill your own bottle.
Oh. Okay.
That's how you get it. That's great.
I'm not mad at that. I thought you was going to say something else, but so you can't. They're not going to send it to any stores or anything. You
doesn't
have to
look like it.
Okay.
At least not right now.
I like the exclusivity of that.
Yeah, I do too.
If it's really good, then I guess I'm going to have to do it.
Here's the thing: everything that has come from Copper and Kings has been so good. I mean, I have not had anything that has been subpar or just crap.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to trying this. I genuinely am. I mean, I've been burned by Castle and Key, but also apparently the newer batches of Castle and Key are already out, like batches 3 and 4.
Never even heard of it.
Yeah,
coming out.
Yeah, exactly. But
who's that?
Apparently they're out there.
Okay.
So we'll get to it eventually. But anyway, the tour experience is $35, and then you do have to pay for the bottle itself. It's $65 afterwards.
That's not bad. That's just like the Heaven Hill thing.
I don't have any problem with that.
You pay for the tour, and then you can buy the bottle if you want.
Yeah. It also looks like there are 2 different finishes, so it is actually a finished bourbon. Interestingly enough, I'm okay with that. I mean, like, that's kind of their gimmick anyway, or not gimmick necessarily. That's their brand. It's a brandy company, you know. So they're taking their bourbon and they're finishing it in barrels of stuff that they also made. But it looks like the bourbon is going to be it's sourced bourbon actually. All right. Aged between 5 and 6 years and finished for 13 months in Copper and Kings American brandy barrels. In total, this first release includes 14 single barrels finished in either apple or grape brandy barrels.
Ooh, grape brandy?
Yeah.
Don't know what the hell that tastes like, but I'd love to try it.
How about this? We each get one.
We'll just take a field trip.
Sure. That sounds good to me.
Will they let us record while we do the tour and while we feel? An exclusive recording.
I'm sure they would let us. And then we get to sit down and taste stuff with them and bottle our own. Yeah, I'm sure we could do that.
Tell them it's our birthday.
I'll get on the. I will. I'll be sure to get on the horn and see what we can do about that. You want to talk about some new releases?
Yeah. Anything I'd kick anybody in the balls for?
I don't know yet.
All right.
I don't know. We're going to find out. Heaven's Door, Bob Dylan's bourbon brand. They have a Decade series coming out. This is release number 1. It's a 10-year-old bourbon, 100 proof. $99 a bottle. It's Tennessee Bourbon, going to be available right now in a limited quantity. Whiskey Advocate says Heaven's Door has announced the Decade Series, a collection of small batch sourced whiskeys, all 10 years or older. The first release is a 10-year-old high rye Tennessee Bourbon, 22% rye, that is neither chill filtered nor charcoal mellowed. Oh, and comes from a lot of 290 barrels.
So not Dickel.
Not Dickel, apparently.
Oh, you have my attention, Tennessee.
I would not be opposed to trying that. Let's see what's next. The new Woodford Reserve Batch Proof, the 2022 edition, has been announced. It's going to be 118.4 proof, $130 per bottle. Going to be out this month as well, and in a limited quantity. The 2022 edition of Batch Proof comes with a slightly lower ABV than in previous years. Chris Morris, their master distiller, says that the fact that this batch has a higher percentage of barrels drawn from the first floors of their heat-cycled warehouses. I kind of messed up that sentence, but the indication there is that that is why it is a slightly lower proof, just because there's a lower angel share. Yeah, but I also just don't. I mean, I've had a couple of those, and they've been good. I've liked them, but I haven't been like, I need to buy a bottle of this.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not even like it's not a price thing. It's just barrel proof Woodford Reserve.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have that much of an interest in it. But I mean, plenty of people do, and this is gonna sell. This is gonna completely sell out. There's no way it's not going to. That's just how it goes, man. That's just how it goes. Woodford is just one of those most recognizable brands, and I cannot fault them for being not necessarily transparent, but almost like obvious about the way that they appeal to people.
Yeah.
So it's fine. I just don't care. I genuinely just don't care.
It's
and it's
never
not
anything that I'm like worried about getting or anything.
No.
Like that.
I think I've had double oaked once, and I thought it was fine. So it's whatever. Let's talk about, though, something I very much do care about. Something that we recently said there's no way that this is ever going to happen again, but sure enough, as soon as we said that, it happened again.
What has happened?
We have a 7-year-old Booker's.
Oh.
Back on the market. This
Straight up 7.
It is 7 years, 1 month, 7 days.
Damn, they went for it. They didn't stop at 6/11.
Yeah, right. Or 7 years, 1 day.
Yeah.
ABV 62.4, so 124.8 proof. This is further confirmation that it is a higher price than it has been in the past at $90, and it is out currently. You're eating ice cream. I looked away for 2 seconds, and you're eating more of the ice cream.
It was calling me.
I just wasn't ready for it. Here, okay. Let's talk about this logistically for a second.
Okay.
And I hate that this is where we are with Booker's right now, but $90 is a lot of money.
We're not on good terms with Booker's right now.
We're not. But I would be willing to give the 7-year-old bourbon a shot.
You know, split it.
That's exactly what I was about to say. What do you think?
Do that. Mm-hmm.
I'll even let you keep the bottle.
I don't care.
After it's empty.
Yeah, trophy.
Yeah.
This is the last Booker's I bought. Mm-hmm. No, I'm down with that. I'm down to split it.
Let's do it. Because I don't want to spend $90 on...
I'd like to put it through the ringer, too.
Oh, no, we will tear it apart. We will absolutely tear it apart.
Compare it to other stuff?
Mm-hmm.
That's similar?
Well, I mean, let's just go ahead and compare it to... Let's compare it to other Bookers. Yeah. Why don't we? Speaking of which, do you have any other Bookers on hand?
Country Ham.
Is that it?
That's it.
I've
only bought like 3 in like the past like 5 years, I feel like.
I have no Bookers on hand. because everything that I've had, I've loved so much that I wanted to finish. You know,
I finished the biscuits one pretty fast.
Yeah,
it wasn't the greatest, but I just finished it because it was just high proof, and I was going through it. Yeah. I milked Kentucky Chew for a while, and I just had to eventually finish it. I think I finished that one before I was even on the podcast. And now the last one I have that I really enjoyed was Country Ham.
Eric, I forgot about something.
Slapping a leg. What's going on?
We forgot to talk about what we've been drinking recently.
Oh, shit. Let's do the news. We'll go back to it.
That's fine. Yeah, we'll get back to it. But yeah, I definitely want to put it through, and maybe we can source some samples of Booker's. You know, I know that Chad and Sarah have like every release over the past.
I know we have like
6 years.
Several friends on our group chat too. That have them
we'll be fine with that. We mentioned this recently, I believe, but Discovery Series 8 from Bardstown Bourbon Company, blended whiskey from Kentucky, Indiana, and Ontario, Canada. Excuse me. The lowest age is 6 years old. It looks like it's going to be 114.1 proof. It's going to be $140. Ugh. 72,000 bottles.
Man, it's just pricing, man. It's just I can't justify buying that.
Nah, I can't either. I mean, I would love to get a sample of it just to see what it's about. And we'll have to get on the horn with Bardstown Bourbon Company again. But it's also been a while since we've gotten samples from them. So.
Yeah, the last ones you got were like, what, Discovery, like 5 or something like that?
No,
like
I bought those.
Oh, you bought those?
Yeah, I bought those at the gift shop. But the last, like, samples that we got were, like, Discovery 2 and Fusion 2. Maybe.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's been a while. We also have a new batch of barrel bourbon. It's batch 33 from Indiana, Kentucky, and Tennessee. The lowest age is 5 years old. 116.6 proof. Oh, my. And $90 a bottle. It's consisting of 5, 6, 7, and 9-year-old bourbons. Consists of high rye and high corn barrels from Kentucky, Tennessee, and Indiana. Excited about it as always.
Always want to try it.
I will never not be excited about a new release of barrel. A Garrison Brothers finished bourbon. It's called Garrison Brothers Guadalupe out of Texas, 2022 edition. 6 years old, 107 proof, $150 a bottle. 5,900 2 bottles.
Damn.
Yeah.
How much money? How much?
150.
150?
Yeah, for a 6-year-old. It's a lot. Straight bourbon was also finished in tawny port casks, just like the first edition from last year, I suppose. I'm okay. I'm okay without it, but unless somebody tries it and is like, you have to get this, it's a pretty easy pass for me.
Yeah.
So, I'll tell you something that's not an easy pass for me, though, is the Yellowstone Limited Edition, the 2022 release. 101 proof, as it typically is, $100 a bottle, and 30,000 bottles. The 2022 release of Yellowstone Limited Edition blends 7-year-old bourbon finished in Marsala Superior casks with bourbons aged 15 and 16 years. Holy moly. Marsala Superior is a dry, sweet, fortified wine from Sicily that must be aged for at least 2 years. Holy friggin' moly. We have got to get a bottle of this. We might have to get 2.
Well, I think we're in a good location to get one.
Well, that's a good point.
We'll see.
We'll have to talk about it.
Mountain Dews.
Oh, shoot. We didn't even talk about this with news. This is something we should have definitely talked about with, like, actual news. But I guess we're just going to talk about the release of it. The Hidden Barn, small batch number 1. 106 proof, $75 a bottle. So, of course, this is Jackie Zykan's first release since leaving Old Forester, 15 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Practically. Limited to 1,400 bottles. It's produced by
in the gift shop the other day.
Yeah, they were selling them in the gift shop, yeah.
Yeah.
Produced by the Neely family distillery I know that this is definitely sold out, but I still want to try it, man.
I don't know, but I think it's hitting distro still.
Is it?
I think they just put a small amount in the gift shop. I think it's supposed to hit stores at least around Kentucky.
I hope so. I mean, that's definitely a pickup for me.
Yeah,
at the very least. 70% corn, 20% rye, and 10% malted barley.
Yeah.
Nice. I can get on board with that.
I can get behind that.
Sure. Another Texas bourbon, Milliman Green Distillery. Batch 3 of their straight bourbon, non-age stated. I cannot really do the math on that, but it's about 114 proof, I think. It's 56.94 ABV. $120, sorry. Available in Texas only, 870 bottles. 70% Texas-grown corn, 22% malted rye, and 8% malted barley. Blue Run Golden Rye, Batch 2, straight rye, non-age stated. Looks to be 95 proof, $100 a bottle, limited availability. It's a combination of 102 barrels selected by Jim Rutledge. So we'll
try that.
We're going to have to try that. Forgate, Indiana Foundation, MB. I don't know what the MB stands for. Maybe I'll find it out if I read a little bit more. 14-year-old Indiana straight bourbon whiskey.
Never.
A pretty hefty proofage here. You ready for this?
Give it to me.
144.3.
Give me that ass, man.
$450.
Shit.
Never mind. Okay. Don't give me that. Don't give me that. I don't want none of that.
I'm okay.
Wow. It says this extra aged ultra high proof whiskey will be available exclusively in Louisville at one location yet to be disclosed at press time. Unlike the other 4 whiskeys, this one comes from just 3 barrels. The Angel share was so high that the yield was just 129 bottles, making it a micro batch.
Damn.
So, there you go.
Micro batch for a big wallet.
Yes. Forgate Bourbon Down Under, Batch 24. 6.5 years old. 116.6 proof, $200 a bottle, 2,178 bottles. High rye straight bourbon with a mash bill of 60% corn, 36% rye, and 4% malted barley. This whiskey was finished in Apera sherry casks from Australia.
I was going to say it has to do something with Australia if it's called Down Under.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah. Forgate Barossa Creek, Batch 23. Golly. I didn't realize that they had this many batches of whiskey out. I have to get samples from them or something. I don't know. Finished whiskey with multiple origins, Kentucky and Indiana, they're listing. 6 years old, 121.3 proof, $200 a bottle, 1,280 bottles. This whiskey was also finished in Australian tawny port casks.
Okay.
Available in Kentucky, Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, Texas, and Louisiana, as well as online. Forgate Indiana Foundation, Batch 22, straight bourbon from Indiana, 10 years old, 108.8 proof. Yes, 108.8. $200, 1,130 bottles. Bourbon was bottled at barrel proof and is available in Kentucky, Indiana, Louisiana, and Illinois, as well as online. And last but not least, as far as releases go, I saved this one for last on purpose.
What are you doing?
Maybe we could find it for, I don't know, next month. It's the Forgate Port Peri Peri. Batch 21. Finished rye. It's an Indiana straight rye, 8 years old. 112.2 proof, $200 a bottle. 2,148 bottles. Finished in Peri Peri. Finished in Australian tawny port casks, available in Kentucky, Indiana, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, Texas, Louisiana, and Illinois, as well as bourbonoutfitter.com, sealbox.com, and caskers.com.
I got a good deal on some Australian barrels.
I'd say so. Before we get to the TTB labels, do you want to talk about what we've been drinking recently, since I'm an idiot and forgot to bring it up earlier?
I didn't think about it either. I was too busy my face in ice cream.
Yeah. How much of that ice cream were you eating while I wasn't looking? You killed it.
I killed it. Oh my God.
You're not gonna sleep tonight.
Oh, that's a lot of calories.
Yeah, well, it's also gonna be a long night on the toilet for you, I think.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, probably.
So what have you been drinking recently?
What have I been drinking? Had another Starlight pick from Bourbon Finds and Bierman's Bourbon. This one was finished in rum barrels. It was really good. A really beachy poolside drink, and I paired it up with some Welch's gummies.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It was really good. I had a Knob Creek pick from our friends over at Dad's Drinking Bourbon and the Wolf Pack, which
I'm going to get from you tomorrow.
You have a bottle sitting here for you. I'm trying to think. I've worked a lot lately while you were on vacation. That's really the two new things. I think other than that, I've just had some Benchmark Top Floor and some Weller or something like that. But yeah, those two bottles. That if you're in the Dad's Drinking Bourbon group, and you didn't get one of them Knob Creeks, you missed out. And I got banned on Facebook for talking about it. So
I actually took some Benchmark Full Proof and Benchmark Top Floor on this trip with us too. So Benchmark Top Floor was not as big of a hit as I was hoping for it to be. I brought home like over 3/4 of a bottle.
It's not a vacation bottle, I don't think.
But it's lower proof.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's why it's not a vacation bottle.
But
you're trying to get something that hits hard on vacation.
But I was trying to bring something for other people who want to drink bourbon but may not like the higher proof stuff.
Oh, I see. I thought you was talking about for yourself.
No, I like to bring a little variety.
I don't go on vacations with anybody but my family, so I'm the only one drinking it. So.
Well, see, there were other people who would be drinking bourbon.
Gotcha.
Brought some of that. Brought some 101. Had to buy a bottle of 101 halfway through the week, though. So that's how that went. A little Jack Daniel's single barrel proof 375, just to kind of have some variety throughout the week. I'm trying to think. Have you ever heard of Jai-Alai? Jaialai? It's a brewing company, a beer company out of Florida.
No.
They have I know you're not much of an IPA guy, but they have a hazy IPA that is absolutely phenomenal. I know that some folks who listen who are beer people probably have heard of it before, but I think they actually might distribute up here in Kentucky as well. It's a little bit nuttier as far as hazy IPAs go. Yeah. Like not nearly what a lot of citrusy beers turn out to be. But I also, and I was going to tell this up at the top of the episode, but I'm going to have to rush through it now, I suppose, because I don't feel like I have the amount of time or freedom that I normally would to tell this. But we were at Disney last, not this, as of recording, not this past Friday, but the Friday before. So that would have been Friday, July 15th. I don't know.
No, 16th.
No, 15th.
Oh.
Yeah.
15th was when you got there. 16th was when you went to
Florida.
Right.
Or when we went to the beach, I guess.
Oh. Well, I was trying to think because
we left on the
Lucy was trying to make reservations for April and you all.
Yeah, that's a whole different story. That's a whole different story. So we took Eden to the Magic Kingdom for her first time ever. I've got a little thing I'm working on from it, so just a little quick memory dump from that trip that I'll hopefully have up by the time this episode comes out. It'll be on TikTok and Instagram and all that good stuff. But I very actively was like, I need to record some stuff for this. I didn't drink a whole lot, but I did have a little bit of the Knob Creek Cast Strength 12-year on the bus on the way to the Magic Kingdom.
That's how we do it, the bus pour.
And it was so hot at Magic Kingdom that day. I had I initially was like, I'll pour a little flask of something and I'll put it in the bag and I'll have it throughout the day, but I didn't wind up doing that. And even if I had, it would have been way too hot to be doing that throughout the day. It was miserably hot at Magic Kingdom that day. Took her on all of the slow rides that we could fit in throughout the day. Very first ride was Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, dude, that ride gets crazy. I'm tripping in that ride half the time.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I love that ride. I genuinely do.
I want to take an edible and ride that ride.
It's goofy and fun. It reminds me of my childhood, and it just it's Disney's Winnie the Pooh.
You gotta ride
absolutely.
that ride.
Small World, Peter Pan's. Gosh, I can't.
Dumbo.
Dumbo we did as well, which she freaked out over because she had her little bitty shorts on and the plastic on the Dumbo elephant was really, really hot from the sun beating down on her. So I felt really bad about that, but she eased up after we started flying, and she loved it. She loved the flying through the air and everything. We did the Little Mermaid ride, which she could not have cared less about at all.
Got to kiss the girl.
And the two that I will say, and there's the two that I was the most worried about, and we were like, we're just going to do them, see what happens. Were Haunted Mansion and Pirates.
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean. She did great on Pirates. She was perfect. I did not care at all. And there was only one moment on Haunted Mansion where the poor little thing got a little scared, but she was fine afterwards. And it was before the ride even started. It's when they bring you into that room.
Oh, and the room moves.
No, it wasn't even that. It was when the lights go out and there's the screaming and you look up and there's a woman hanging from the ceiling. Yes. And there's the screaming and everything. And Lucy was like, she leaned to me and went, like this teeny tiny little bit of fear. But she was great on it. We only got, we got stuck on just about every ride that we went on.
Oh, yeah. Just the stoppage. You're like right in the middle of it.
I mean, we got stuck on...
Another ghoul has messed up the track.
Yeah, exactly. On Winnie the Pooh, it's Tigger telling you that, it's good, whatever. But I'll say, I think maybe the two funniest instances with her were in the Tiki Room, which I genuinely love.
I love the Tiki Room.
It's such a great relaxer. You're going to do the trap version remix of the Tiki Room. She loved it. She loved every second of the Tiki Room. To the point where as we were leaving, and she was up and dancing, and like every time a song ends, she was like clapping for it and everything too. It was perfect. As we were leaving, Lucy was holding her, and Lucy goes, "All right, say bye bye birds," and Eden goes, "Bye bye birds, love you."
Oh, so cute.
So we were initially going to get her like my first Disney trip ornament, and instead we got her a Tiki Room ornament because it was her favorite ride there.
Yeah.
I would say her least favorite attraction though was the Country Bears, which is hands down the horniest thing at Disney World.
I told you, bears.
I forgot that it was that horny.
I didn't realize it was that horny until I went like the last time. I mean, it's just horny bears.
Yeah, until the trio of tiny lady bears sing "All the Guys That Turn Me On, Turn Me Down."
Yeah.
Which I was just like, Lucy and I were like, is this really happening right now?
That one bear comes from the ceiling. He's like, "I'll be right up, honey."
Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh, it was so weird. Eden hated it. She started like crying during it. And we've been teaching her sign language since she's been little, just to, give her something else to communicate with. And one of the things we taught her is all done, right? It's just a very simple all done. But she says all done when she does it too. And so we're about 3/4 of the way through a 9-minute show, right? In the Country Bear Hall. And she looks up at us and goes, all done? She all done? All done?
I kind of feel the same way about that.
Yeah. But so I was sitting there going, I really want to do our adult trip with you and April. Not like me and Lucy and you all.
Yeah.
And we get drunk and we go to stuff like the Laugh Hall, the Monsters Inc. Laugh Hall, and Country Bears, and we're just hammered for it. And we think it's the funniest thing in the world to us. I think that would be so much. Just getting overly competitive on the Buzz Lightyear ride.
I'd get pissed on the laugh floor though if they didn't put me on the screen. I still get mad at that. I'm like, put me on the screen. Sully, but come on, Mike, come on, put me up there.
So we think that Eden was kind of sick the day that we were there because she wasn't really acting herself. She was a little bit just more reserved and everything. And so she just, we were a little bit bummed about that. But we got to the fireworks and she had taken about an hour nap. And she wakes up and we're like, oh, we're going to pick her up. We're going to hold her and we're going to watch the fireworks with her and everything. It's going to be a great little family moment. And Lucy picks her up and she immediately wants to get back in her stroller. So she is just sitting there watching the fireworks while Lucy and I are like, this is nice. This is just, everything that we were hoping it would be. But like she actually got into the fireworks and everything, and she was like clapping for it and whatnot.
They're amazing too, especially when they sync up with the lights and stuff.
The fireworks are great. I was not there. There's something about this newer show, and I think it's because they're relying too much on the newer movies that it's not as like emotional as some of the older shows have been. But it's still really good. Still fantastic stuff. Tinkerbell still flies from the top of the castle to, God knows where. She just disappears. I forgot. We went to dinner at. Do you remember the name of it? I'm sorry. I'm really bad with names.
The one by the tiki room.
Yes.
Skippers.
Yes, Skippers. Yeah, it's Jungle Cruise based.
Yeah.
And I got a red ale, spiced red ale that was, and you said you'd had it before too. Yeah. It was brewed specifically for Disney World. Yeah. It was fantastic. It was so daggone
especially
good.
After you've been out in the heat all the time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We split they called it the taste like chicken because it is.
Yeah.
It's just fried chicken. It was really, really good. But so the two best moments I would say though came after the fireworks. And Eric knows this, and I think anybody who's been to Disney World and like buys into it and everything. Disney After Dark just hits different.
Oh yeah.
It's just a completely different experience than when you're there during the day. And we were like, okay, we're going to take her on the carousel and then we're going to go back to the room and sleep. Because, by the time the fireworks are over, it's about 9:30, 9:45. Yep. You're just worn out from the day. I had the biggest blisters I've ever had on my feet just from that one day. By the time we got back to the room, but we literally did not get back to the room until about 12:30 in the morning. And that's because we left the fireworks. We're like, what else can we do? So Eden really likes being spun around. She likes spinning. She thinks it's so much fun. And initially we thought, well, she's not going to like the teacups. She'll probably throw up. It was the end of the day, too. So we were like, we'll just give it a shot. We may as well. She loved the teacups, dude.
Oh, yeah, because you can control how fast and how slow you go.
Biggest smile on the teacups. Then we went to Small World again. Just because it was a, pretty chill one. I had a mild panic attack thinking about what it would be like to be in Small World when all the power was off.
We talk about what happens. Me and the kids are always like, look up in the ceiling. There's some watching.
I hate looking at the ceiling. It takes me completely out.
There's some real life Small World people up there watching you the whole time.
Absolutely, yeah. But like when they turn the power off for the night, like thinking about all of those little animatronic dolls
they come to life and start hanging out.
Yeah, it like freaked me out in the middle of it for no reason. But so we finished out the night with the carousel, and she loved it, man. She thought it was so much fun. Do you have a light just die?
Yeah.
Terrific. It's spooky. It was just a great way to end it. It was just, her in pure bliss and everything. And we're leaving, and by this point the second fireworks show has started. And we're trying to get out, and the show is finishing up, and you hear in the background like, this is the place where you dream of, and magic happens and everything. And I kid you not, as that was being said, they were escorting, the front like train station,
yes,
of course, at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah,
they were escorting Mickey and Minnie down from the train station, and in the background it's like, this is where dreams come true, and this is where happy, all that. And we're pushing our toddler out. It's her first time at Disney World. And we look over just as the show is ending, and just as we're about to leave the park. And there's Mickey Mouse. He turns around and waves at everybody.
And you just started crying.
I did. I was like, that's the perfect. I was like, that's the perfect way for us to end a day at Disney World, and the perfect way for us to end our kid's first day, her first time here. It was just awesome. It was so good. And somebody, I think Joe Brazo was saying, she's not going to remember any of this. And it's like, it's not necessarily about that. For one, it's about us being able to have those memories with her. And two, it could be that she does wind up remembering this. This could be her very first memory.
True.
So it was worth the $300 gamble or whatever.
And like I told you, I said on that, my kids don't remember their first time, but they love looking at the pictures and being like, oh, I remember looking at the picture and I was here and now I'm here. And now they're starting to remember everything. So now they want to reenact pictures, or they want to go stand where they were before and stuff. And it's just fun.
It is. It's special too. And I understand that it's literally just a big corporate conglomerate and whatever, but it's special. It really is special. And it exists for a reason, and continues to be, what it is for a reason.
Yeah.
As well. So what were we talking about? Were you doing a bourbon podcast here?
Disney podcast? What?
What if we just became Disney influencers?
Shit, I'd be down.
In Kentucky Disney influencers. Yeah. That's really funny. Should we? I guess we got to talk about these TTB labels now.
You can run through them.
Barrel Vantage, a blend of straight bourbon whiskeys finished in Mizunara, French, and toasted American oak, 114.44 proof. A Balcones, ZZ Top, Tres Hombres, cast strength, Texas whiskey.
Come again?
Yeah, ZZ Top's got a whiskey coming out.
Wow.
120 proof, as far as we can tell right now. Chicken Cock Private Cask, aged 7 years, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 100 proof. Double cask finished Old Scout. Chicken Cock Chanticleer Cognac barrel finish, Kentucky Bourbon. High Malt Nulu Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Blue Note, a collaboration from the Argentine Andes. Straight Bourbon Whiskey finished in French Oak Las Notas barrels. 120 proof. There's a lot of stuff, man. Single Cask Nation has a double cask American single malt whiskey coming out. 112.2 proof. I think that's about it. That's all that really matters. Nothing really matters.
Nothing really matters.
Anyone can see. Nothing really matters. Nothing really matters to me. Anyway, should we do a review?
Let's do a review.
Woo! This has been some kind of episode. So, Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond Bourbon has finally made its way back to Kentucky. Hallelujah. 7-year-old, as opposed to the 6-year-old bourbon that was available for like $12 a bottle.
Oh, yeah.
Now is $40 a bottle, unfortunately. Oh, my goodness. I'm just dropping stuff all over the place.
Different bottle. They put a cork in it.
Very different bottle. Very different packaging as well. Has not been in Kentucky now for almost 2 years, practically. I'm happy it's here now.
Yeah, I'm happy to see it.
Yeah. Also, two things I want to say before we get into the review. One, I feel like we might have done this review before, but I cannot find any evidence of that anywhere. So if we are doing this for a second time, I apologize. But also, this was sent to us by Heaven Hill, completely free of charge.
Well, this would have been the first time you reviewed it when it's actually available in Kentucky.
Well, in Kentucky, yeah.
So if you did it before, it was non-Kentucky then. So,
but I mean, hopefully it's consistent enough to where, back then I was maybe. But of course, 100 proof, 7 years old, as dictated by law. I guess this is Denny Potter juice from before he made the move over to Maker's Mark.
I guess so. It's been 7 years ago. So.
Stop falling.
It smells like Heaven Hill. It smells like you're at Heaven Hill. Like I feel like they put this in the vents in the gift shop, and that's what sprays in the gift shop when you go to Heaven Hill.
It's like Disney with the artificial
when you're
smells
walking down
and sounds
Main
pumped
Street,
in. Yeah.
It smells really good.
Oh, it really does smell like Heaven Hill, though. Just that overall, butterscotch, baking spice, snickerdoodle, carameliness that they're so well known for.
Always that bakery smell, man. Heaven Hill, a good Heaven Hill bottle like Elijah Craig or anything like that is always going to have that bakery to me.
Now, you bring up an interesting point with Elijah Craig, because, I mean, that is essentially like an 8 to 12-year-old bourbon now for about $30 a bottle, whereas this at 7 years old is $40.
True.
Man, I feel like I've had this conversation before. I feel like I'm doing, in sitcoms or old TV shows, they do like a redo episode. Yeah. Like they take the same plot and they would just recast some of the characters and like improve the script and everything. And I feel like I'm doing that right now. But I don't, it is, at least as far as the nose goes, I don't hate this.
No, and I think when I say a lot, Craig, like, I feel like it noses more like an ECBP as opposed to the 94 proof. I know it's only 6 more proof points, but still, like, there's even like this French toast. It's just this dark nose that's just all dark. It's all brown and tan and like just anything you think of that's like a bakery, like pantry of like spices and stuff. That's what I see when I smell this. It's all this brown sugar looking stuff.
It is definitely there on the palate.
Oh yeah, it's that's brown sugar. It's almost like have you ever had a brown butter cookie?
Hell yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's like this brown butter on like almost like this cinnamon sugar cookie. That's just a solid. I mean, it doesn't knock me back or anything. It's just comfortable, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, and I think that is almost where I start to get a little bit frustrated with the price on this.
Yeah. I won't disagree.
Not that we didn't just review an 8-year-old Bottled and Bond product and say at $80, $85 a bottle that was appropriately priced. I think it just comes from the fact that we are so familiar essentially with this brand that we know it so intimately with the 6-year-old age statement. Because, I mean, in Kentucky, we were spoiled with the fact that we were able to pick up a 6-year-old Bottled and Bond from Heaven Hill for $11 or $12 a bottle for a long time. And then when it got taken away from us, we were like a kid throwing a tantrum.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, this has finally come back to Kentucky, but it almost feels like, and I will say this too, the work that they've done with the packaging, the way that the bottle looks itself, it does look more premium. It does look like it belongs in the price category that it is in. I would definitely be more upset if this were in the $70 range. Just because I do have, familiarity and history with the product that this came from. But I think that, this is still a steal at $40 a bottle. That is still something that people should consider to be reasonable.
We were spoiled with the other stuff, so we're just kind of being salty about it.
No, we definitely are, and I mean, that's why I'm trying to step away from that and say that, Heaven Hill, unfortunately, I think is probably the most inconsistent brand as far as it goes considering pricing schemes, right? Because, and I mean, as far as we know, based on recent news, like the old Fitz Bottled and Bond is going away. Like the decanter version of it is going away. But even if we're just basing the pricing scheme off of that, $10 per year, this falls well below that margin. Well below it. So I don't know.
And then you've got all their other screw top Bottled and Bond things that are at least.
Yeah, I mean, would you want to pay $40 for a bottle of JW Dant?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Like that's like $12. It's it's all over the place.
Yeah, so I think that at least considering, maybe they're doing I don't know, like $2 not even $2, like $3 a year for, or $3 for every year that it's aged. I guess this kind of falls below that too, but I mean it's not horrible. No. It's not necessarily unheard of, but I mean here I am trying to justify like a 300% price increase from what it was at 6 years, to what it is now. But I mean, pound for pound, this is a great bourbon.
This is solid.
This is really, really good. Yeah. I got 2 comparisons I want to do with this. It depends on how accessible they are to the both of us. I can pretty easily make this happen, but it depends on what you...
What are you thinking?
I want to compare it not only to the 6-year version of this from ages past, but also to the 8-year Wilderness Trail Bottled and Bond.
I can get the Wilderness Trail. I don't even have a 6-year anymore.
That's okay. Let's just only do
that one a long time ago.
Let's just do the Wilderness Trail then.
8 years, Wilderness Trail, same proof.
Same proof, just 1 year older. Man.
If you smell the Wilderness Trail first and then smell the Heaven Hill, doesn't it make that Heaven Hill smell like it's about 3 years old? Like, I get like this young nose on the Heaven Hill after I smell the 8-year.
Young, yeah, I would say younger.
Yeah,
I would say younger, but the problem for me is that this is not an apples to apples comparison. Just because
they're
of course,
completely different.
No, they absolutely are. The Wilderness Trail is so much like it's so much woodier. Like it's just got so much more oak to it.
It's sweet
than
and
the
it's
Heaven
oak
Hill does.
And yeah. That year just seems like it has more layers on it, like we said before. And the Heaven Hill seems like it's just solid. It's just like, I'm bourbon, drink me, I'm good to go.
The 8-year though, man, it's just
it's not even fair.
It's not fair. It's not fair at all. Here's the thing, though. I think that the 7-year is for particular people, and I think that the 8-year is for particular people. And I know that in our review of the 8-year, I said that this is kind of a bourbon for everybody. I do still genuinely believe that. But if you don't like sweeter bourbons, the Heaven Hill is not for you. That is going to be the deciding factor, I think, for a lot of people. It definitely like kind of helps me put into perspective what what I think about the Heaven Hill versus this beautiful 8-year-old Wilderness Trail bourbon. I was thinking about this earlier. Do you think that Wilderness Trail is currently like our joint favorite distillery?
I think so. I think it's been like that for a long time. I think it's always kind of been that way. There's plenty of things we both like, Knob Creeks and
but it's just like the 8-year kind of solidified that.
But I think across the whole board, I think as a distillery that's we're both.
It's definitely the one we're mutually the most excited about.
Yeah,
I think. So I'm gonna put this in the video version here. But Lucy came out here recently while I was working or filming something, and she hadn't seen yet your headshot that is sitting here. And she goes, "Oh, I love the fact that you've just got a picture of Eric sitting next to you out here in the studio."
Oh.
So I'm going to insert that into the video version. So if you want to see...
It's me.
If you want to see what's sitting next to me while I do all of my work out here.
It's me.
It's really, really funny. Do you want to review this one now?
3s across the board.
3s, okay, interesting.
I put it 3s across. I've been thinking about it. 3s across the board. I'm trying not to think about how they spoiled us with the price before. I'm looking at it as 7 years, 100 proof bottled and bond. I'm giving it a 3. Could be a little better. Could be worse. Either way. I think 3's across the board to me.
It went down the wrong way.
Perry turned purple for a second.
Oh my gosh. Thank God it wasn't barrel. Oh, it's that thing where bourbon goes down the wrong hatch.
And it just almost kills you.
Yeah, that's what I felt just now. Anyway, you got 3's across the board.
3's across the board. I think this is just solid across the board. Palate, nose, finish, price. Me trying not to think about the 6-year was $12, $13. Looking at it, 7-year bourbon, 100 proof bottle and bond at $40. Solid. I'm going to say 3's across the board.
I think this is the first time that we are seeing that we definitely painted ourselves into a corner with the Wilderness Trail 8-year bottle and bond. Because now I have to justify why it's okay to pay essentially half what we did for the Wilderness Trail on a bourbon that is 1 year younger.
I think the palate. I mean, now that we've tasted them,
no, that's fair. That's totally fair.
It tastes, the 8-year tastes like a $150 bottle.
Yeah, I think that this one actually does. I'm going to be a little bit more meticulous. I think we're probably going to wind up with the same score though. I'm still dying. I'm sorry. Nose for me is a 2.5.
Okay.
Good, not great. 3.5 for the palate. I really enjoy the palate. Finish is a 2.
Okay.
I think that puts me at a
2.5 plus 3.5 plus, what did you say, 2?
2. So an 8 out of 20 right now. Right?
3.5 plus 2.5 plus 2. Yep, 8.
All that considered, $40 is still a lot of money, but I think that this is definitely worth the price of admission. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5 on the price.
We both ended up with a 12.
We both wound up with a 12 out of 20. I like this a lot.
I do too.
But it definitely does read to me more like a daily drinker than it does a premium bottle, which I think it's starting to fall into the category of. So,
and I think that's what it should be. Like that's what the 6-year was to us. It was a easy to get daily, and it was good, but we felt it was a daily. And like you say, now they upped up the bottling and the price and the age, and they try to seem like it's being more premium. But to me, it's still, I think a 12. Yeah. I think a 12 is a perfect daily drinker score because it's something you are always going to go to, but it's not your like special pour.
Would you agree with me in saying that Heaven Hill is the king of the daily drinker?
Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah. So with that in mind, how would you kind of qualify that? Like, what do you think it is that makes Heaven Hill that accessible to people?
I think it's that what we were talking about earlier. I think it's the price. I mean, you can go in, at least around here, you can go in and get 4 different screw top bottled and bonds that are all solid for under $20. Or you can go get an Elijah Craig 94 proof for what, $23 or something like that. And it's good. And then, I mean, even Elijah Craig barrel proof is a little easier to get. It's not as easy anymore, but still, I've got plenty of those I can just pull out, and I don't feel like it's a special pour, but it's not a special pour, I guess you would say. It's like, finishing the night, I want some barrel proof. Yeah. I can grab some Elijah Craig barrel proof. I think it's from that $12 up to $80, like it's the most accessible daily. You've got a wide variety of dailies you could use.
Sorry. I geez Louise, I'm never going to get over this. I do think that it's the accessibility there for sure. And not even just in, the ability to pick one up, but also in terms of just how easy it is for people to kind of get on board with this flavor profile or with the things that make it so enjoyable to a lot of people.
If you don't enjoy the smell and the taste of something that's baked or a bakery, then you need to talk to Jesus, because it's like I don't know what to say if you
it's a big statement.
I don't like the smell of a bakery. I don't like. Yeah. I mean, something's wrong. Talk to me.
That Wilderness Trail though, man.
Oh yeah, dude. I've been sipping on this the whole time we've been talking.
But yeah, I think that this is something that you should consider picking up. If you see it, it's definitely now much more accessible to people, even just within Kentucky. And the first bottle that I got of it, I had to get sourced out of California from our buddy Clifton from Bourbon Bites, because that was the first person that I heard found it at retail. And so I jumped on it. But we also got sent a sample of it back when it first came out. So I'd have to dig into my collection and see where that is. But that would be a fun little comparison sometime between that and this edition that we got and the, I'm assuming like the first batched version that,
Yeah, because this
started in Kentucky, got sent to California, and then got sent back to Kentucky.
Because the one I got at my local store before they announced that it was going to be Kentucky. So like it was just hitting Kentucky, and we didn't even know it. Mm-hmm. And then a little bit later, Perry got it
like
sent.
Like a week later.
Yeah. So this is crazy. We both definitely had the same first Kentucky representing Heaven Hill bottled and bond here. So
yeah. So if you see it, pick it up.
I think so.
I don't know if this is like a hard seek out for me.
It's not anything.
If it's around, grab one.
Yeah. It's not anything I would get to be like, hey, look, impress my friends coming over. I got no. This is, I'm putting it on the shelf, and I may grab this. I could drink it, mix it with Coke, or make a old fashioned out of it, or whatever.
Ooh, I can't wait to make an old fashioned with this. Oh man, maybe a Manhattan too.
Yeah.
I'm down. I love that maltiness of a Heaven Hill product. Anyway, shall we move on to tips and or bits? Yeah. Normally called tips and bits.
Tips and bits.
It's a segment where we recommend things to people, not always bourbon related. We also had a recommendation in our Facebook group. I have to find who exactly said it, but it was recommending that we start doing a segment called High Proof Hot Takes.
Oh, I'm down.
Who was it that said that? Let me find it.
High Proof Hot Takes. Let's go.
Michael Sullivan. He said, in light of Swan's recent posts.
Oh, yeah. Swan,
I would like to request that.
Newfound internet freedom.
He said, I would like to request that Tim Bipp add High Proof Hot Takes as a recurring segment. This is where Eric and Perry could offer strong opinions that are presumed to be controversial or at least arguable. Doesn't have to be on bourbon, as Swan has shown. So, I mean, do you want to do that before we go to tips and bits?
What would be we just pick our own hot take? Do we do a one together, or is it like?
No, let's pick our own.
So it's just a hot take, like
just a hot take, just any hot take
is just.
I've got one that I've kind of been holding on to. It's really. It's a complete 180 from everything that we've been talking about, but it's something that has been bugging me recently, I would say.
Okay, let's see. Hot take.
Do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
All right, fine.
I'll
go first
for this.
I don't think that this is the most controversial of opinions, but I think that it has become more prevalent with popular child stars suddenly becoming adults. But I think that the over-sexualization of female child actors and the expectation of them becoming 18 is absolutely disgusting. I think it's one of the grossest things that our society is doing right now, and particularly with Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things. It was like everybody was just waiting, and even with Billie Eilish, everybody was just kind of waiting for them to turn 18 so that they could see more of their bodies. And then it was like, why are you doing this?
Yeah, that's
like,
weird.
Stop doing that. And Billie Eilish even said, she actively hid her body because she was underage. She didn't want people to think about it. And she wanted people to focus more on her music than anything. So I think it's disgusting. It's really, really gross that
especially when you have a daughter of your own. Which
exactly. That is what put it into perspective. Yeah, it's that feeling of like when guys, not just guys. I mean, I'm not saying that it's only reserved to people who identify as male, but just that anybody who goes, oh, I can't wait for them to turn 18, or they're gonna be so whatever when they become an adult. Like, it's just gross to me, man. It's just ugh. I hate it so much, and I hate that it's like there are two very high profile examples of it right now. Too.
I agree.
So that's my high proof hot take.
Well, as you were saying that, I started thinking I'm gonna just put myself on blast right now, because I recently decided to have a kind of a change of view on something. If you follow me on Instagram and you see my stories, I post, short little workout videos and stuff, and I use the hashtag Earn Your Bourbon, Earn Your Snacks, stuff like that. And I recently began to think that I'm not anybody who uses that.
It's not super healthy.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm not giving anybody. I'm not saying it's bad to use a motivation like Earn Your Bourbon or Earn Your Snacks or whatever by working out. My thing is, not everybody has a chance to work out, and not everybody has the time. And
it's me.
I don't want to put off I realized that it made it seem like what am I trying to say? I wanted to motivate people to feel like, hey, let's get out and work out and stuff. But at the same time, I don't want people to look at that and feel like that I'm saying that in order to enjoy your bourbon and everything like that, you had to go work out. So today I actually posted no hashtags or anything like that. I posted just enjoy your bourbon. You've done something within the week to enjoy what you've bought or earned, or your day off or your shows. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to work out to quote earn your bourbon or enjoy it. You've worked hard. You've done the laundry. You've took care of your kids. You've done that, and you deserve that. And I thought about this last night, and it almost brought me to tears because I thought that, because I had somebody send a message that said, I really like seeing your videos, but I feel bad sometimes because I can't do the same. And it really made me feel like I was not doing the right thing. And I'm not saying you can't use a hashtag like that. I'm just saying me now, like, I just want people to enjoy their bourbon and their shows and their snacks when they get a chance. And, you know, I'm still going to keep working out because that's what I do. But I don't think anybody has to earn anything that they bought or, you know, they saved up for and all that. And if anybody saw those posts and they ever thought like, man, like I feel bad because I don't earn my bourbon or something like that, I wholeheartedly apologize for that. I would rather post a workout and somebody say, hey, that looks like a cool workout, I want to do it, as opposed to almost like them feeling bad because they didn't, quote, earn their bourbon. So that's my hot take, and I'm blasting myself right now.
I think that's really important that even as two guys, we talk about body positivity because I mean, it goes along with like mental health and everything that, you know, we not only support other people, but we also support ourselves and the decisions and everything that we've made. And I mean, like, it's a weird thing to say, but like at the crux of it, like I decided to have a kid 2 years ago, you know, like I decided to make that life-changing alteration. And so with that, I mean, it becomes like more difficult to do the things that I did before I had a child. Yeah. And so it's not as easy for me to get to the gym. And I mean, I think about it literally every day where I go, I need to get to the gym. I need to work out. I need to, you know, eat better and do this and whatnot. But the fact of the matter is, like, it is a very difficult part for a lot of us to, you know, be able to find time for it. And, you know, it's really tough when, you know, because it's different for everybody too, right? And I think that's what it gets to.
Yeah.
Is that, you know, not everybody has the same opportunities, not everybody has the same time availability or time even restraints that some might have. But just to be able to do that, and you know, I am somebody who has struggled with that. I mean, and a lot of it came from COVID and battling with even just a drinking habit. Like, how much am I drinking? You know, how much do I want to drink and everything? And I mean, that does not only have like an impact on your physical and mental health, but emotional as well. And it does. You know, I'm not trying to like say, hey, I hate you for doing this or anything, but I mean, like there is even like a portion of it where I was like, man, Eric's really showing me up. Like,
and see, that was never.
I gotta do better because he's, you know.
I was honestly
I can't be the fat guy on the podcast.
No, and I was looking at it the wrong way, and like I said, like, I'm still going to work out and I'll still post stuff, but I don't feel like I need to associate that with the reason that I had a snack cake or the reason that I had a pour of barrel proof bourbon or something like that. Like, work out because you enjoy it and because that's what you decided to do. But also, you know what? If at the end of the day you have a dessert or you have a pour, you did something during that day to deserve that, and you earned it in some way possible. And I don't know. That's something that, that's a hot take for myself, and it's kind of me just getting it out there because, like, I want everybody to be healthy, and I think that everybody needs to work out some way just to stay active, but don't feel like you have to use that as a motivation to have a pour or to have a dessert. And if you do want to use that as a motivation, that's perfectly fine. We all have our own motivations. But me personally, like, I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I want to use that anymore as a way to try to motivate people. I think I'm done with that. So That's my social media working out, whatever hot take. Here we go. Barrel proof, whatever.
There you go. It's all that matters. Tips and bits.
Tips and bits. I have a lot of stuff I've watched, but it's getting late, so I'm going to save a lot of stuff.
Late. Yeah.
I watched Nope. I'd recommend go see it. I would rather a bunch of people watch it, including Perry, before I start going into it.
No, I don't know anything about this movie, and
I don't want to say anything about it because I don't want to give anything away.
You know what I really hope it is, and just based on like the trailers and everything, is that it's short little vignettes of crazy things happening to people, even if it's just like the same couple, because it's Daniel Kaluuya and oh my gosh, what is her name? Keke Palmer?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it is Keke Palmer. Even if it is like the two of them just going through all these weird like experiences, and like even if they're not like scared, they're just kind of moving on to the next thing, and they're just like, nope. And then like the next thing happens. Like I would have really enjoyed if that's what.
I won't say anything.
That's fair. Yeah. But I would really. I'm so excited for that movie.
It's definitely a watch. We're in the middle of Shark Week right now, or just started it.
It just started as of recording, yeah.
But I just watched the newest episode of Shark Week, Jackass.
Oh, yeah.
And I recently watched Jackass 4.5, which is on Netflix, which is kind of a documentary of them making Jackass forever, and it shows what they had to do. They started filming, and then COVID hit, and they had to stop, and then they had to come back, and they had to like do regulations and all this stuff. And so I recommend Jackass 4.5 because it shows a lot more of some of the stunts they didn't put in there. And then I also recommend Shark Week's Jackass because last year, Poopsie, he did a stunt where he almost lost his hand because a shark bit him.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so this new episode actually shows more footage, and it shows like the hole, and it shows the bleeding. Like he almost lost his hand. And so this new episode is them trying to get Poopsie over the fear of getting back in the water because he's a surfer and stuff.
Why?
But it helps. But he wants to get back in the water. He wants to do this because he loves surfing.
That's
and everything.
Different.
But they're also
like, hey, you got to get back in.
No. Like they do little things to try to overcome that fear again. And they also have like a marine biologist who's there, and he kind of talks about the actual like scientific stuff about the sharks, about the stunts they're doing. But then there's also they're puking, and there's different Jackass stuff going on. But it's half entertaining, half educational. So check out the Jackasses episode of Shark Week this year.
Okay.
I'm Whiskey Mutant. Welcome to This Is My Bourbon Podcast.
I am still working my way through the Cuphead DLC. It is brutal. It's real tough. But
my son beat it the second day he had it.
Yeah, well, Eli can shut up, okay? He's a friggin' 11-year-old, and I'm a 28-year-old man who doesn't, he stopped playing video games for about 10 years and then was like, hey, you know what? I should start playing video games again, and it's been a journey for me. It's so much fun, though. Oh, my gosh, it's so much fun. Some of the best level design that they have done with this game, and probably that I have ever really experienced with video gaming before. So if you don't know what Cuphead is, go check it out first and foremost. I know that I'm probably supposed to be doing a little bit more specificity here, but I'm so tired. Two more things. Two more. Maybe one more thing. We'll do one more thing. So, on the very first day of our trip to the beach this past week, we turned on the TV. I tweeted about this, and literally nobody responded. But the very first day, we turned on the TV just to find something to watch. TV was super complicated. We didn't even really care to try to change the channel or figure out how things worked. And I don't even understand how this works in particular, but there is a station called Pluto TV, and they run just old shows constantly over and over and over again. And like, if you have a smart TV that also has like digital channels, they have the option for you to watch some old shows only on one channel. Like, they have one for the Munsters, and they've got it for the Mary Tyler Moore Show and everything. But the one that we got locked into was The Love Boat.
Oh my God.
Dude, I am so addicted to this show. It is amazing. It is, like, not even in an ironic way. Like, I literally, every time that an episode came on, I've just enjoyed every second of it. The theme song has been stuck in my head for about 12 days now, and it probably will never leave my brain. And it's so funny and 70s humor and just garish and goofy and all over the place, and I want more people to watch it. I want to do a podcast on it, honestly, like reviewing each episode and, you know, doing it for however long it would take me to. But it's so good. It's
Granger on that podcast with you,
bro. I would be all over that. We'd have her as like Lucy and me do a podcast, and then Gran's on like every third episode or something, where she's like, "Oh, The Love Boat," and the doc was just my favorite. And then George Van Patten would show up, and anyway, such a fun show, man. I love it so much, and I love. That's the end of my tips and bits for this week. But love. I love love, dude. And I feel very brave for saying that. So,
I love love too.
Yeah, we're very brave here at This Is My Bourbon podcast.
I know. I feel like I just had a full ass confessional.
Come to Jesus moment.
Yeah.
Well, it's important for you to, if you're listening to the show, take stock of your emotional inventory, and potentially come to Jesus and support. This is a horrible segue that I've done. Support this show, and Eric's gonna be your Sherpa towards letting you know how you can do such a thing. So, Eric, how can people find us and then support the show and do all the things that keep us flowing and afloat and cruising along, much like the Love Boat did throughout the 70s and 80s? Just call him Captain Steubing, and you know what? I'll be your assistant purser. I'll be Gopher. I'll be Gopher.
All right. I mean, we'll just sell along to Patreon.com. Where you can just save up four quarters for as little as 4 quarters. You can support the show, and at $5,
I'm so tired, dude.
You get all the uncut stuff, all the stuff Perry didn't cut out of this, all the bonus episodes, Sample Irresistible, the pregame chats, pours from the floor, shit you don't even know you're missing because you're not on the Patreon. Just do it, because we got bills to pay, we got mouths to feed, we got lights to pay the bills on, we got computers to buy when we break them, and we got bottles to get to review. So patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast. If you want to send us an email, you can ask us to review something. You can send us a sample. You can send us a pairing suggestion. Send an email to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. If you want to leave a message on the Barrel Ring segment, which I want one. Somebody send the barrel rings. Call 859-428-8253 and leave a voicemail. And we'll play it on the air, and we'll reply to you. If you want to get some merchant apparel, it's bourbonshop.threadless.com or whiskeymutant.shopify.com. Then on all social media, it's at MyBourbonPod. You can follow Perry at PRitter1792. You can follow me at...
Sorry, I just looked to see when the last time we had a barrel ring was. March 24th.
Oh, come on, people. Fucking wake up. Let's
way
go.
Too long. Let's go. Way too long.
Come on. Tell us anything on there. But yeah, on all social media at MyBourbonPod. PRitter1792 at Whiskey Mutant. We have a Facebook group where Swan, the former co-host, but still kind of the co-host coming back, is going on a rampage.
I'll be back.
I'm apparently banned from Facebook, and I don't know when they'll let me back in, so I can't comment or hardly see anything on there. So I don't know what Swan's saying about me. Apparently he did because he sent me a message about it. You can go to YouTube. This is My Bourbon Podcast. Every Thursday night, Perry goes live. I try to join him once a month. All the video versions of the podcast you're listening to, if you want to see our handsome, sexy faces, you can go to This is My Bourbon Podcast on YouTube. And then just leave a review or just tell people about us. We're on all your favorite podcast shit. Send a letter to your friend, that your pen pal that you made up or you haven't talked to in a while. Tell them to listen to the show.
That they made up?
Yeah, the pen pal they made up.
It literally does not help us at all with
but
growth.
It motivates people to send letters to other people.
Just letters going to 123 Candy Cane Lane addressed to Santa Claus. Like
they'll eventually get to somebody. The mailman will put them in somebody's letter box.
Fantastic.
It's late.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Yeah, my favorite listeners are the made up pen pals.
Golly.
Good night.
That's it.
Good morning. Good afternoon. Whatever time you are listening to, we love you.
Eric, I'll see you in about 12 hours, and I'll see the listeners in about a week. What's that noise? Anyway, see you next time. But until then, and this is My Bourbon Podcast.